Fill your summer with the sun-kissed sweetness of Amigos Refreshers. There's strawberry acai, blueberry dragon fruit, and mango passion fruit, each a tropical delight. So skip the hot coffee and amp up your day with the plant-based natural caffeine and fruity flavor fusions in an Amigos Refresher. These cool thirst quenchers are just $3.99, or there's a mega 32-ounce size for $4.99. Recharge with the bold, fresh flavor of an energizing refresher at Amigos.
Hey, it's Storyworthy. Today on the show, comedian Steph Tolev talks about how she can't use public toilets.
Around like 9-10 years old is when I started having issues with going to the bathroom publicly. And it's a problem because I'm traveling all the time. And the doctor's like, when's the last time you had a bowel movement? And I'm like, excuse me? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And my mom's like, when's the last time you took a shit? And I was like, I don't know, like 5-6 days ago. And the doctor's like, Jesus Christ. My mom's like, what the fuck do you mean 6 days ago? That was when it was really, when we realized there's a problem.
Today on the show, comic Steph Tolev talks about how she can't use public toilets. Stay close.
Hey, it's Steph Tolev, and you're listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show of almost 14 years, or you're a brand new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. I hope you guys enjoyed the show last week with Adam Macias. Adam talked about the devil trying to trick him out of his sobriety. Does that make sense? Basically, the guy got sober and then, somebody gave him an alcoholic drink. But it's a great story. It's a lot more than that. Adam Macias is a really interesting guy, and we had a great conversation. So go back, you guys. Listen to last week's story with Adam Macias. But not today. Stick with me now because I'm re-airing a really funny story by comedian Steph Tolev. Steph is en fuego right now, and so I thought you guys might want to hear this story again. Steph Tolev is an amazing comedian, and she's just everywhere right now, so I know you guys are going to love this episode. I also want to remind you to check out My Life in 3 Songs. My Life in 3 Songs is over there on Spotify. I talk to comedians about the 3 songs in their life that have impacted them. We also listen to the music, so it's a lot of fun. Head over there to mylifein3songs.com and check it out. And also, Story Smash, the storytelling game show, is back and live in Los Angeles, Saturday, June 15th. Come on down to the Lyric Hyperion, and you can check out StorySmashShow.com for tickets and more information. Story Smash, the storytelling game show. You guys, it's the funniest show in L.A., and those are big words, but it is. Thank you. Anyway, you guys, enjoy this story today with Steph Tolev.
As I mentioned, I used to Highland dance. So I need to say my mother is the teacher. So if you've ever done anything where your mom is the teacher, you are forced into doing that sport or that dance or whatever it is. So my mother started teaching Highland dancing when she was 20 years old. So I, of course, had to start doing it. So me and my sister both started when we were 3. That sounds insane. There's video footage. There's photo evidence. I was Highland dancing at the age of 3, which is insane. So now when your mother's a teacher, you're not just doing it occasionally. I would go to dance classes 3-4 times a week because that was it. I'd finish school, walk up to the church where my mom taught with my sister. We'd do classes every week. Every weekend there was a competition. So we lived in Toronto. There was we travel, sometimes we go to the States to Michigan or Pennsylvania or whatever, or there'd be local competitions. So this was our whole life. Every year there's a thing in Canada called the provincials, where everyone from every province would go, and it would be this big competition. So you'd compete against girls your age from all across Canada. Around 9-10 years old is when I started having issues with going to the bathroom publicly. And it's a problem because I'm traveling all the time. And, I'm dancing, so you'd think that my body would want to, move my poops out of my body. No. So the first time this started, I believe I was exactly 12 years old, and we were in Nova Scotia, and we were at this big competition, and it was the big party night. So every we'd be there for a week, and there'd be one night where it's like everyone hangs out and it's a big party. I am keeled over in the corner. I am bawling my eyes out. I can't stand up. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. I get rushed to the hospital in Nova Scotia. They get me in a wheelchair. I'm like rushing around. They thought my appendix broke.
You're with your mom is with you. You're only
yes, my mom is with me at this point. Yeah,
she gets you to the hospital.
Yeah, so I think my mom and my dad came with me at this point. So when we're in the hospital, rushing around, we get seen by this doctor. I'm lying there. He's like pressing on my stomach. I'm like bawling my eyes out. They're like, they did an ultrasound. They're like, no, there's not ultrasound. So they did like I don't know if it was ultrasound or like a X-ray. They're like, there's nothing has been busted. And the doctor's like, when's the last time you had a bowel movement? And I'm like, excuse me? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And my mom's like, when's the last time you took a shit? And I was like, I don't know, like 5-6 days ago. And the doctor's like, Jesus Christ. My mom's like, what the fuck do you mean 6 days ago? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't go. Like, I couldn't go when anyone could fucking hear me. So I was like in the hotel, all this, whatever. So the doctor's literally like massaging my fucking intestines. He's like, yeah, you just need to go to the bathroom. Like, you need to go poo. So like, they're like, go get some fiber, go get her some shit. And I'm like, so my mom's embarrassed now. So I also should mention my mom is a pretty big deal in the dancing world. So my mom has, how do I explain this? My mother has one of the best dancers of all time in Highland dancing. One of her students, Colleen Rintamaki, won the world championships in Scotland 11 years straight. No one else has done that. I'm pretty sure she's in the Guinness Book of Records. Literally nobody else. So everyone knows my mom because of that student. So they're like, oh, Joy Allen, Joy. So my mom goes by Joy Allen for her dancing name. That's her maiden name. Everyone knows Joy Allen. So everyone knows Joy. My mom's also very outgoing, whatever. So we get back and she's embarrassed. Everyone thinks I'm very sick. Turns out, gotta take a big fat shit. Okay. So this kind of passes. So this is, years go by now. So that was when it was really, when we realized there's a problem. So every summer in August, we'd go to Scotland because there's the World Championships now. So it's people from Canada, people from the States would all travel to Scotland. They'd have it's the biggest Highland Games. There's like caber tossing. There's pipe band competitions. There's like, it's a huge deal in Scotland. So it's at it was a place called Cowell.
Did you say, hold on. Did you say cable tossing?
Caber tossing. It's when you toss like a big log. It's like, it looks like a
telephone pole.
Telephone pole. Yes, and you have to flip it over.
What's it called?
So this is all part caber tossing.
Okay.
So you have to flip the caber or the telephone pole over one whole time. So it'd be a bunch of guys in kilts. I'm like, not gonna lie to you, I feel like my parents should have put me in that sport. I would have done way better than dancing. Because I will mention, not very good at dancing. I should preface with this. I am built like my father. I have very large feet. I have a very broad back. Not a dancer's body. We'll say it like that. So my mom had this very good dancer, and then me. Not good. But I'd have to come on the trips. I would never really place. There's one dance I place in called the sword dance. So it's an actual sword that you have to dance around. And if you touch the sword with your foot, you're disqualified. I somehow would be able to just get over the sword without touching it. So I would always get like last place in that dance. But I was like, big whoop. I know I wasn't good. Whatever. So we would travel to Scotland every year. So 3 weeks in Scotland. So we wouldn't just go, we go to the Highland Games. My mom would also be like, we're in Scotland. Let's go see some castles and go traveling around and see these other fucking things. So this one particular time. So I remember this, and we'd eat, like, have you ever been to Scotland?
No, I haven't.
Okay. All you eat is fucking fish and chips and grilled cheese sandwiches. It's like oil. You're eating grease. You're eating so much chocolate, but we're dancing at the same time. So it's not like we're gaining weight or anything. We're not like overweight. We're just jumping nonstop and then eating shit. That's pretty much what it was. So we would stay in like these like university like flats with like a bunch of other people. And I this point now I'm sharing a toilet with like 7-8 people. We're not going to the bathroom. We're not going number 2. It's not happening. So what I would do is I would always wait till people weren't around, or I would like figure out a way, but it was a problem now. So we're on this one trip. I believe I'm probably 11, 12 at this point. And we're driving through these beautiful hills in Scotland. We're like, we rented a car. We're like, there's sheep everywhere. We're just like, it's like crazy. We're in the middle of the countryside. I'm like, this is beautiful. We go to this place in, I believe what was it called? Not Stirling. It was somewhere up above. It was like a smaller town, but we just went and saw a castle, and there was like a really cute little gift shop. So we're in the gift shop, everyone's futzing around, and I'm like, fuck. So what would happen when you hold in your shit? You get these crazy, like, knife stabbing pains. Oh. So I would get these pains that were so bad that I'd have to sit down. Or I could have just shit. I mean, looking back now, I could have just taken a big fat shit, but no. So we're in this fucking gift shop. Everyone's walking around, and I'm like, I had the shit, and it's really bad. So I sat down in front of this big glass cabinet that had a bunch of little, like, glass figurines. I'm like, I'm just going to sit here, because sometimes if I sat down, it would kind of go back in or whatever the fuck it would do, and it wouldn't feel as bad. It'd feel a bit of a release when I sat. So I'm sitting there looking at these figurines, maybe five. Also, weird, I'm sitting cross-legged in the middle of a store. So let's picture that. It's a very nice gift shop, and there's a kid sitting on, maybe it was 10. I don't know exactly. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I'm sitting there looking at these figurines, trying to distract myself from shit. All of a sudden, massive bang. Biggest bang I've heard in my entire life. I feel like a fucking force on me. It felt like I've never felt this in my life. It was like, poof, and there's dust everywhere. I open my eyes. I feel this weight on my chest. And I'm like gasping for air. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm like, I thought like a bomb went off. I don't know what the fuck is going on. People are screaming in the store. Everyone's running around. I open my eyes to a woman lying on top of my body. And I'm like, what the fuck I can't see because there's literally dust everywhere. And like, I have no clue what's going on. So I open my eyes to a woman lying on top of me, but she's also facing up. So we're both lying down and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I like, my immediate reaction is just to shimmy out of this woman. I'm like, why is there a strange woman on top of me? I shimmy out. My mom's calling my name. I run over. I find my mom. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm like, what the fuck? Everyone's like, what's going on? Turns out, this woman was in the attic, in the upstairs of this gift shop. And she was walking around trying to get some extra shit or something. And there's one weak spot of the ceiling. And she stood in the wrong spot and fell through a 10-foot ceiling.
Oh, God.
Okay? Missed this glass cabinet by a hair. A fucking hair. Landed on my large childhood body.
Oh my God.
The ER told my mother I saved this woman's life because I had broken her fall. And since I was so comfy, cushy, sitting on the ground, and I didn't know that there was a woman, like she was probably 150. Like she wasn't like,
yeah.
And I just braced her entire fall with my giant Bulgarian body. She landed on me, both of us. Nothing wrong. I had a little bruise on my arm. They couldn't believe it. The ER checked me out. He's like, there's nothing wrong with her. Didn't break a rib, nothing. They rushed her away. She was completely fine. Ambulance came, put her on the fucking stretcher, took her away. They gave me a good luck charm, a little horseshoe. They were like, oh my God, you're our good luck charm, whatever. I thought they would have given me something more. It was probably like $3. I'm like, really? You couldn't give me a fucking bag of chips on the way out here? And to this day, it's like, well, if I had shit, that woman might have died. That woman might have, she would have like fallen, like that would have been nothing stopping her fall. She would have fallen straight to the fucking ground. Yeah. She could have broke her neck. She could have done whatever.
Yeah.
So because I didn't.
So when did you poop?
I ended up pooping, I think, later that day. But everyone was like, did you poop when that happened? Because like, you would have thought that woman would have like pushed the shit out of my ass. Turns out no. Turns out it was probably another day or two and I had to have some more fiber because I couldn't get the shit out still. But it was like, I also keep like replaying it like, can you imagine if she did hit that glass cabinet and then shatters? I would have been fucked. Like we both would have been fucked. The glass shatters, we both could have died. They could have like, it was like a big glass cabinet. It wasn't like a small little thing.
Was this one of those older buildings in Scotland? I mean, was it like hundreds of years old?
Yes, I think because it's also like attached to like a castle. So it's like, it was like their little gift shop thing. So I'm sure they didn't have like reinforcements in the ceiling. Yeah,
it wasn't like in the castle in the stone part. It was in like the whatever. Yeah.
Whatever side little fucking shed they had. And she also like, you know, when you're walking around, she like put her full weight to walk down and just like, just the image, like, like, just like, the whole thing's so fucking, I think it's funny now. And I feel like this started my whole life. Weird shit always happens to me. I always have the weirdo come up to me. I always have something nuts going on. It's always like, how does that happen to you? I'm like, I don't fucking know. But it's like, I swear to God, this story started it. This was the story that just turned my life into me being a comedian. Cause it's like, What? Like how is that how I save a woman's life?
What
Because
are the
I'm
odds?
a child that can't shit. What are the odds?
Thanks again for listening, you guys. I knew you would enjoy this story. Steph is a wonderful talent, and she's just doing great out there. So again, thanks for listening to this episode of Storyworthy, and don't forget to check out My Life in 3 Songs. I've been working really hard on that show, and I personally love it. So check out mylifein3songs.com and, of course, storysmashshow.com to get tickets to Story Smash and continue to follow me here on Storyworthy. All right, you guys, one more time on behalf of the very talented Steph Tolev, my name is Christine Blackburn saying, make it a story-worthy week.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.